Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. December 6th. When the chips are down. When we developed still more, we discovered the best possible source of emotional stability to be God Himself. We found that dependence upon His perfect justice, forgiveness, and love was healthy, and that it would work where nothing else would. If we really depended upon God, we couldn't very well play God to our fellows, nor would we feel the urge wholly to rely on human protection and care. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 116. It has been my experience that when all human resources appear to have failed, there is always one who will never desert me. Moreover, He is always there to share my joy, to steer me down the right path, and to confide in when no one else will do. While my well-being and happiness can be added to our diminished but human efforts, only God can provide the loving nourishment upon which I depend for my daily spiritual health. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, December 6th. Before Al-Anon, I'd have sworn I didn't have an angry bone in my body. Through working the steps, however, I discovered that without knowing it, I'd often been furious at the alcoholics in my life. I began to recognize anger while it was happening. At first, it felt great to reclaim this suppressed part of myself. I felt more whole, more powerful. But as time went on, I began to abuse my newfound sense of power. I blamed all my problems on the alcoholics, pushed everyone away, and felt worse than ever. Al-Anon has helped me bring the focus back to myself. If I am unhappy with my situation, I can look at my part in it. I am powerless over alcoholism. Sometimes I feel angry about that fact, but anger will not change it. Today I can get angry, express the feelings in the healthiest way I can find, and then let them go. Today's reminder: anger can give me an illusion of power. For a little while, I may feel I have control over my situation and over other people. But that kind of false security always lets me down. The only real power available to me is that which is mentioned in the 11th step, the power to carry out God's will. There is a quote from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, and it reads, "No one can control the insidious effect of alcohol or its power to destroy the graces and decencies of life. But we do have a power derived from God, and that is the power to change our own lives." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, December 6th. Romance and Recovery. Relationships can be a terribly painful area. Basic text, page 82. Love is like an elixir for some of us. The excitement of a new lover, the intrigue of exploring intimacy, the sense of release we get from allowing ourselves to become vulnerable. These are all powerful emotions. But we can't forget that we have only a daily reprieve from our addiction. Holding on to this daily reprieve must be the top priority in any recovering addict's life. We can become too involved in our relationship. We can neglect old friends and our sponsor in the process. Then, when things get difficult, we often feel that we can no longer reach out to those who helped us prior to our romantic involvement. This belief can lay the groundwork for a relapse. By consistently working our program and attending meetings, we ensure that we have a network of recovery, even when we're deep in a romance. Our desire to be romantically involved is natural, but we mustn't forget that without our program, even the healthiest relationship will not guard us against the strength of our addiction. Just for today, in my desire for romance, I will not ignore my recovery. Today, Emotions Anonymous, December 6th. Reflection for today. My defects of character cannot be removed by my willpower. I have spent the better part of my life trying to combat these shortcomings. I have grown frustrated and anxious in the process. Step 7 says, you have done your work in steps 4 and 5. Now let go and let God. Just humbly ask for your shortcomings to be removed. As the steps suggest, relax. I can now start to live a less anxious life. I can also start being more spontaneous and put my worries and emotional problems into the hands of the higher power. Meditation for today. May the faith I have obtained in the first steps of the program stay with me and help me to now complete steps 6 and 7. Today I will remember. Today I will relax my mind and body and truly accept that my higher power will remove my shortcomings at the right time. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. December 6th. Abandonment. Abandonment means more than being left alone or left at a doorstep. BRB page 10. We felt abandoned emotionally as children when we were criticized and felt we didn't measure up to expectations. These abandonment feelings were made worse when we felt compelled to keep family secrets, which brought a continual sense of shame that someone could find out how really dysfunctional our homes were. As adults, this often resulted in feeling triggered to build up highly emotional responses toward the pain of loss. Before ACA, living with all this pain and shame caused us to look outside of ourselves for love and safety. But with the help and guidance of our program and each other, we learn that self-worth, self-nurturing, and a feeling of safety can be developed within ourselves. Thus, our confidence grows and recovery becomes real, especially as we strengthen our belief in a higher power. Recovery works if we don't stare at the past, but decide to make new memorials each day. We find that developing into a new adult is rewarding. At the same time, our inner child continues to grow in a healthy way. ACA teaches us to be confident in the knowledge that we are in charge of ourselves. We can learn to live in the present and concentrate on each day's blessings. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I know I am not alone. I have the support of my ACA family that is helping me heal my past and build a strong future." Please like, share, subscribe, and remember that recovery is absolutely possible, one day at a time, and that you are not alone.